Yes, Jamaica, my Facebook family and friends, I'm here to let y'all know what happened yesterday, February 19th, at Halfway Tree Court with me. After I was set to pick up a letter from the Halfway Tree Court, take that letter to Bellevue Hospital, and get a psychiatric evaluation done. This was ordered by the judge. Anyway, I heard clearly what the judge says, and when I went back to Halfway Tree Court to pick up the letter, they told me that I need to sign a copy of the letter and leave that copy there to get the original copy I need to take to the hospital. I refused to sign the letter that they was letting me sign because clearly it was a letter with the heading of Bellevue on it. And clearly I seen if I would have signed that, I would have been signing myself into Bellevue. So I refused to sign it, and furthermore, I told them the judge did not order me to sign a copy of it and leave it here. She just told me, Your Honor just told me to come and pick up the letter and and bring it to go get the psychic evaluation. Anyway, I refused to do that, and when I went to court yesterday to let everyone know exactly what take place, the judge asked me, did I do what she said needed to be done? I told her what happened. I told her I went there to get the letter and they told me I had to sign a copy and leave it in order for me to get it. And I told her she didn't order me to sign any copy of it. So I refused to sign the copy of anything. I furthermore gave her the law that and the section that supports me not signing anything because the judge did not order me to do that, right? Which is relevant law, Constitution of Jamaica, Section 16.1, right to a fair hearing. Relevance, you shall not be forced to comply with conditions not ordered by the judge, as that could constitute a breach of procedural fairness, right? I stated that in the courts. Anyhow, she heard me and basically was saying that's their procedure and, you know, she couldn't order me to do that. So in other words, I was being told I should have, by common sense, I should have signed it. Anyhow, it was some disclosure. I only got part of the disclosure I'm supposed to get, and the part that I got is fabricated with lies. However, I asked about the diary, the station diary, Central Police Station diary of when I was logged in. I need to see that on the 26th of the 5th, 2025, when the arresting officer, Miss Sutherland, took me to Central Police Station. The commanding officer told her to release me and give me back my machete. It was properly wrapped up the way it's supposed to be carried from and to work. It's my work tool. He's not charging me for an offensive weapon. What she did was take me around to Central Police Station lockup and ask her friends, her police officer friends, to put me in the lockup anyway. I was there from the 26th of the 5th, 2025 until the 13th of the 6th, 2025. So I asked about that. Where is that piece of disclosure there? I need to see that. This can show the corruption and the violation of my rights that took place. She had ordered them to bring that, right? At this court date, when I brung it up, and reminded her that she ordered them to bring him. She's telling me, stop telling her what she said. When at the last court case, I asked specifically, can there be a stenographer there, an official court reporter that's recording the proceedings? She ignored me. The judge ignored me, ignored my rights to ask for the proceedings to be recorded. And then now at this court case, when I'm reminding her of what she said out of her own mouth, she's telling me to stop saying that she said it. And then she asked the prosecutor if such thing was said. However, it came to be that yes, and she's asking, where is that? The arresting officer, Ms. Sutherland, said she misunderstood what she said, and she would be sure to bring that at the next court date. Okay, what the judge did was remanded me. The judge remanded me yesterday and set a date for the 26th of March. No matter how I stated the law that my submission to why I wasn't able to get the letter and bring it down to the hospital and get the psychic evaluation done, not like it's necessary anyway. I gotta ask her, what did she see? Why she asked me to go get a psychic evaluation? Is so much people there for rape, murder, robbery, vicious, malicious woundings, and the judges is not sending them to go get a psychic evaluation. So I already know she's in the corruption with the corrupt police criminal organization. Yes, they bribed her. I already seen this. Anyhow, she pardoned them and let them know that they should bring it to the next court, but she remanded me. After the court officers arrested me and took me, put me in handcuffs and took me over to halfway tree holding cells, I was there now being processed, have to sign into the logbook, which I did not do at Central Police Station on the 26th of the 5th, 2025. Right? So I was signing into the halfway tree logbook, going through the procedures, taking my lace out my shoes, my belt off, giving my properties over to them and everything. And just before they put me in a cell, another officer came and said, give him back all of his things. The officer said, what? Said, yes, the judge want to see him back over the courtroom. So they took me back over to the courtroom where the judge gave me the letter that I'm supposed to take to the hospital to get the hearing done. The letter that I'm supposed to take to the hospital, Bellevue Hospital, to get the psychiatric evaluation done is clearly a different letter from the one the secretary at Halfway Tree tried to force me into signing. I have pictures of both of them. And she should be charged. The secretary should have a criminal charge to what she has tried to do. Two completely different letters. At this case, it wasn't the same prosecutor as the one at my previous case. But however, I had to sign a copy of the letter. Oh, excuse me. When I looked at both the letters, one of them had the heading of the Halfway Tree Courthouse. The other one did not have the heading. Right? I asked her about that. She ignored me as if it was a regular thing for one letter to have the Halfway Tree Court heading. That's the letter I'm taking down to the Bellevue Hospital to get the psychiatric evaluation. That had the heading, but the copy that I had to sign did not have the Halfway Tree heading, courthouse heading. I looked at it and I didn't say nothing about it because I'm putting it out there to whoever is watching, whoever is helping. They're trying to set me up. And that prosecutor that was there at this last court case, she's with the corruption as well. She's with the corruption as well. However, I was let go, came home, and told to go to get what the judge wanted done and bring it back on March 26th. I give you another part of criminality that's taking place that whoever is watching and helping, check these things out. I'm exposing them in every single way. I drafted up, had AI draft up an affidavit in accordance to Jamaica law and standards of affidavits. When that was drawn up, I brung it down to the Supreme Court library and asked one of the workers in the library to please print that off for me. So she composed it off my phone and printed it out. You know, when she printed it out, they told me a part of it, oh boy, I'm tired. A part of it need to be signed by JP. I asked her, was there any there? No, they appointed me across the road to the next courts right there next to the Supreme Court building. And he said, it's a JP over there. When I went over there, I asked the officer at the front, I'm here to get something stamped and signed by the JP, an affidavit that I need to take to trial that very same day. He told me, okay, go right there to window 2. When I went there to window 2, the guy that's the JP there that refused to sign my affidavit, refused, told me the affidavit was not done right. It wasn't in a legal formation, a proper formation, and refused to sign it. Just totally refused to sign. I'm trying to see if I could find it here to show. It's somewhere in the drawers, but that's another part of setup. Because some guy came in there behind me and was saying my name, blatantly saying Morrison, but he didn't call my first and middle name. But he was saying Morrison, and at the same time, I seen the JP that is there at the courts register that he's telling him me, in other words. He got up and left for about 10 minutes, came back, and he refused to sign it. This is the setup and sabotage that is taking place with me, you know, and I cannot say I'm going through immense pressure, you know, to see that this judge remanded me. I don't have a criminal record. This is not a violent offense that I'm on, offensive weapon and disorderly conduct, you know, and the visions of what happened to me at Central Police Station to come right back in the front of my memory again, you know, what is going to happen to me this time? Will it be a worse? Will I even survive? You know, it's devastating. It's devastating. It's traumatizing to have to go through this type of thing. And I'm not a criminal. I'm not doing any forms of wrong. I work for a doctor. He gave me a letter. He gave me a letter to bring to the courts. You know, thank you, Doc. As I'm going to show y'all here, this is my doctor, the letter. This is the letter that my doctor gave me to bring to the courts. I'm his gardener. This is proof that the machete being with me is law-abiding. I wasn't threatening anyone. I wasn't in the intent of harming anyone with it, and I didn't have intent of using it as a weapon. You know, so it's just the corruption that needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. When they could influence the JP at the Supreme Courthouse not to sign my affidavit, you know, this corruption have influence where it should not. How? I'm not even going to go there, but I'm just letting you know, my Facebook groups and social media friends and family, what is going on with me, you know, and every bit of what is going on with this case, I'm going to keep on posting it and letting y'all know what is happening.